so we got influencer, or influence is all that I got up there. But there's an R. I'm saying this? So I'll change that. I just noticed it, and I've been teaching this for, so nobody's ever pointed that out. But anyway, so how we gain influence. So the C stands for connect with people. See, this is not working, John. I'm not sure if I have to reboot it or. So an influencer connects with people. So all great leaders, in your book, all great leaders and communicators have one thing in common. And that one thing in common is that they connect. They connect with people. So I had never been trained on how to connect. So remember, my weakness was relationships. So if that's my weakness, I needed to learn how to connect with people, okay? So that we could relate. So there are 4 connecting thoughts that we want to know. The first one is connecting with people is the leader's responsibility. It's your responsibility as the leader to connect with people. It's not their responsibility to connect with you. It's yours to connect with them. And so one of the things I learned from John was when you walk into a room, connect with people. So when I came in here yesterday for the first time, what did I do? I said, hello, connected, my name's Macia, yada, 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 because it's my responsibility to do that. Okay? Now, some of you walked up to me and said, hey, whatever, and that's awesome. But it's your responsibility as a leader to reach out and connect with people. Okay? All right. You think we got it, Jonathan? You're awesome. Okay? So they connect with people. So 4 connecting thoughts. 4 thoughts on connecting with people. Connecting with people is the leader's responsibility that we just talked about. Okay? Leaders, anybody ever been to train or seen a bunch of trains? Yeah. What actually runs the train? The engine, the locomotive. So the boxcars don't look for the locomotive, do they? No. The locomotive goes where the boxcars are to move the train. It's the same principle with us as leaders. Okay? You want to remember this next one, because you're going to see it again. Connecting with people means caring for people. Caring for people. We truly have to care about people. Why did Allah give his people food, provide them with food? What else you provide them with? Transportation? Huh? What did you provide your people with? Food, yeah. Yeah, transportation. You have to make bus fares and stuff like that? Yeah. So why did he do that? Yeah, he cares about them and he connected. Wanted to connect with them. The bad news is you're taking advantage of them. But I got a feeling he's going to take care of that. Okay. Number 3, connecting with people means according to their agenda first. So it's not about you and what you want. If that is the mission God's given you, so you want to, you want to go there, but remember, it's not about you. It's about them. Absolutely. Absolutely. Number 9, the E, the other E, an influencer, is an influencer. Let's see, where do you page y'all on? 50? An influencer empowers people. Yes. Empowers people. Again, the law of navigation and the 21 irrefutable laws of leadership is that anyone can steer the ship, but it takes a leader to chart the course. Chart the course. There in your book, John Craig said, no matter how much work you can do, no matter how engaging your personality may be, you will not advance far in business if you cannot work through others. Empowering people to work through them. It will help determine your success. So, enlarging a person deals with their individual growth. That's something you want to remember. These next things are things you want to remember because you're going to see them again. Enlarging a person deals with their individual growth, but empowering a person deals with their organizational growth. Okay, how they're going to help the organization grow. Remember the example I used with Beatrice? When I lifted her up, I empowered her, okay, I rose up as a leader. When we do that with all of our people as leaders, the organization will grow. You want your church to grow? You've got to empower your people. It's part of the process. Okay, so you want to remember enlarging a person deals with individual growth, and then empowering a person deals with the organization's growth. Okay?
Yeah.
So, you always want to take, in order to grow the organization, you always want to take the same journey with people. So while different people on the team may have different dreams, vision, purpose, all of y'all on the team together are working together for the same, to go on the same journey. Okay, so what does empowerment mean? What does empowerment mean? Seeing the potential in an individual, okay? Saying encouraging, empowering words to that person. Sharing your power and position and influence with them. That is, when you're sharing your power and position, that is letting them, one way to do that is letting them lead where they're strong, where their strength is. When you sit back, it takes a lot of work off the leader too. I'm here to tell you. When I stopped doing everything myself and started letting people flow in their areas of giftedness and lead us in those areas, oh man, it took a lot of the work off of me. And it empowers them. Okay? And then showing to others your belief in and power given to that person. When you release your power, your position to others to flow in their area of giftedness, it shows that you believe in them. Okay? It shows that you believe in them. So always take the same journey with people. There are 5 essentials to empowerment. 5 essentials to empowerment. The first one is find a person worthy of empowerment. Worthy of empowerment. Second is clearly lay out their mission and responsibilities. Clearly tell them what you expect from them, what their responsibilities are. The mission, just like we were talking with Olive. Verbally and visually show your support. Verbally and visually show your support. Keep an open door relationship. Keep an open door relationship. What that means is, open door means you're always welcoming them to come and talk or call you or whatever. Now, don't let them control your schedule, because if you don't control your schedule, somebody else will. But always be accessible. And just one of the things that I always practice is they said etiquette is when somebody calls you, call them within 48 hours, because I want to call them back within 48 hours, and text them or whatever. But I want to be a person of excellence. Remember the Rebecca principle? Yeah. So I set a personal goal myself, always try to call people back or respond back within 24 hours. Okay? But etiquette says do it within 48. But I want, also, again, don't let them control your schedule. You control your schedule. If they call you, you don't have to answer if you're busy doing something else. But then, you call them back within, hopefully, 24 hours. Okay? But always keep an open door relationship with them. And give them, number 5, give them the public credit. Give them the public credit. When they're successful, when they do something good, give them, in front of everybody, give them the credit. That's very empowering to them, and helps, they really, people appreciate, don't they? They appreciate being appreciated. Yeah? Now, some personality types don't have to have it, okay? But I think everybody likes to be appreciated. Maybe not all the time, but, just appreciate it. And so that is so the person on the receiving side of that is, you're connecting with them, they appreciate that, and you're lifting them up in front of others. So that's very, very empowering. Okay? Let's see. Oh, guess what's next? The last one. All right, the last one. We'll take questions and talk about it. And so one more thing on the increasing our influence is, so remember the first 5 were about attitude. These have been action steps, things that we have to do as leaders. Enlarge, navigate, connect, empower. The R stands for reproduces other people. Reproduces other people. What do we mean by that? Remember when we said, how do we equip? How do we equip? The first step is to teach yourself, learn, lead yourself, lead yourself, yeah, lead others, teach others, lead others, teach others, and teach others to lead others. That is how you multiply. Okay? So, who wants their business, because I know we got some business people in here, who wants their business to grow? how you do it, okay? Who wants their church to grow? Yes. And it's not just about growing, it's winning souls, right? Bringing souls in, discipling, etc. So if you want to do that, you've got to reproduce leaders. Okay? You've got to focus on reproducing leaders. So you help them grow, and we're going to talk about how to do that tomorrow. But you want to increase your influence, reproduce others. Because I tell you, when you add value to others and you teach them to grow and they move to that next level, etc., that will move your whole organization, your whole church, everything up to where God wants it to be. So when you influence a child, how many are in children's ministry? Yeah, me too. So when we influence a child, you influence life. Okay? When you influence a child, you influence life. But when you influence their mama or their daddy, you influence a whole family. You influence a whole family. When you influence a worker, you influence a company or a church, an organization. Okay? When you influence a worker, then you influence a company, a church, an organization. But when you influence a leader, you influence everyone who looks to them or her for leadership. For leadership. So, remember when I drew on the board yesterday about all that stuff in between? Yeah. That's because we had trained leaders, we had taught them how to lead. They turned around and they trained leaders and they taught leaders how. That's how you multiply anything. Okay? So, you want to gain influence, reproduce other people. Oops. So let me ask you this. Why don't leaders develop other leaders? Yes, we're going to learn why. First of all, they are insecure. They're so afraid somebody's going to take their position. Remember, leadership is not about position, but they're so afraid somebody's going to take their position. Let me tell you, if you're not finding someone and developing someone to take your position, you're not much of a leader. You're not much of a leader. So you want to be looking for, that's why churches have associate pastors. Yes. If something happens to the leader, God calls them to something else, or God forbid, they go to heaven. That's a good thing, though, right? Yeah. There's somebody that they have trained and developed to take that, so the church keeps growing. Yeah. People keep getting saved and getting discipled. So, they're insecure. And that, to me, they're afraid that somebody's going to take their position. Oh, happy day. Somebody needs to. Yeah, okay, somebody needs to if they're insecure. Number two is they spend too much time with followers. They spend too much time with followers. Followers are easy to lead, aren't they? They just go right along. They don't ask any questions. They don't tell you, you didn't answer my question. They just are followers. But you can't spend you don't want to spend, you probably want to spend maybe 20% of your time with followers, 80% with your leaders. Because that's how you you're going to grow your ministry, grow your church, grow your company. All right? So that's second reason why leaders don't develop other leaders. And another reason is that followers are easier to find and lead than leaders.
Yes.
Isn't that true?
That is true.
You know, go and find leaders. You want to grow your church, your company, go find leaders in your church or in your company. Or go recruit them into your company. These people that are duds that you're going to get rid of, go find you some good people that will respect you, that will help you grow your company, your organization. Leading leaders is like herding cats. How many has a cat? Do you have a cat? A cat, C-A-T, cats, dogs, cats, anybody? Can you tell a cat what to do? No, cats are going to do what they want to do, right? And so that's when I say leading leaders is like herding cats, trying to herd them together. You just can't do it. You do sheep, but you can't do cats. So it's not easy. Yeah, it's not easy. But I gotta tell you, it's working. It's worth the investment. All right? Number 4, another reason that leaders don't develop other leaders is they don't recognize the value of developing leaders. They don't realize the value of developing leaders. We talked a little bit about that yesterday, but they don't understand multiplication. If you grow leaders, you're going to grow your company.